Welcome to the latest episode from Garbalino Midland Match. Now, as you've seen, we've just wrapped up our campaign at Patsall. So now it's time to turn our attentions back to the commercials ready for the silver season, the winter, which is my favourite time of the year for the fishing. So we've basically come down to Moorlands, an island pool, peg 4, purely because I haven't got my trolley with me and it's the closest peg to where the car is, so we've just plonked ourselves down here. We've got 2 hours to literally catch whatever we can, everything that swims in 2 hours, and we'll just see what we can get. Now, as always, Grant's looked after us brilliant when we've come down here. He's let us a month early than we're supposed to. He's let us use a bit of ground bait today, as we are predominantly targeting the silvers, but it's still pretty warm, so the chances are we're going to get a few carp and a few F1s as well. But I had a message asking about how I fish my worm slop. Now, there's no set ways about your worm slop, it's just pretty much mix it however you want and slop it up. So I'm just going to have a little mini session on our worm slop. I've showed you how we've mixed it. Well, I'll show you how we mix it in a minute, but that's basically our worm slop. We set up 2 + 2. We're sort of fishing it to the right of us down the base of the first slope. So we've still got 2 + 2 to our right, and then we've plumbed up, followed that slope down until we've hit the base of that, and that's where we've plumbed up. I'm just going to one line it for 2 hours, pretty much expecting to catch a few skimmers, few roach, perch, maybe odd tench, carp, F1s, everything that swims basically. Pole wise, UK free as usual, just a brilliant all-round pole, and we basically set that up. I've gone elastic wise, I've sort of fishing a beefed up version of Silver's gear basically, just so if we do hook up 20 carp or F1s, we can get them in no problem at all. So elastic wise, ever faithful 10 to 12 Garbalino high stretch fighter hollow, 017 main line, little 0.3 gram float, reverse tapered shot in number 10s, sort of the last 18 inch, down to a 6 inch with, I think it's a 18 pellet carp, Garbalino pellet carp, size 18, and that's 013 bottom. And that's pretty much handle everything that's in here really. Yeah, bait wise, we're going to chuck in 100ml pot of our slop mix to start with, and then after every fish, the octopot, just took the lid off the octopot and we'll fill one of them up with the slop after every fish, and we'll try and keep the feeding tight, because I think any loose feed going in, we're going to get seriously carped out. So that's basically it. Come down for a mini session, get our eye back in on the commercials, as we have had sort of 2 months away fishing Patsall, so I pretty much haven't fished a commercial the whole time. So yeah, going to alternate our hook baits. We've got some maggots, casters, a bit of worm. We're just going to catch everything that swims and have a nice little mini session. Grant again kindly let us put the nets in so we can get sort of a catch shot or a little video clip of what we have caught. And yeah, I'm fully expecting a lovely little 2 hours fishing, so we'll get some bait in. Now, as I said, you can mix this slop mix however you want, there's no set ways. This is just my take on it, the way I fish it, and it has proved deadly on numerous matches, different venues. So you literally fill your 100ml pot with your slop mix, a few maggots, a few casters, minced up worm. Got our mark. Line it up. We've plumbed up your island pool that we're on today. It's pretty much 2 slopes, big island in the middle all the way around, 2 slopes. And silvers wise, if you're fishing for the carp, you fish right up the mud or you fish down the edge. But when you're targeting the silvers, you sort of fish the base of the far and near slope. And that's pretty much, you could use one rig for your whole match. It plumbs up pretty much all the same, all the way around. Peg 4 is sort of the narrowest peg. We've only got like 13 metres and we're touching, well, 12.5 metres, you're touching the far bank. So yeah, we've set up just on the base of that first slope. We've just fed for the first time. So I'm going to leave these cameras running for 2 hours. And then we'll get you some footage on there and get our eye back in on the commercials, ready for our busy winter campaign. Right, this is what our slop mix looks like when it's done. Now, it looks horrific, but it works absolutely brilliantly. And the good thing with the slop is you can pretty much mix it however you want. There is no set ways of doing it. This is just my personal preference on how to do it. I'll just get this out of the bucket for you. And I'll tell you how we go about mixing it. So as you can see, that is a right mess. But trust me, it's deadly. That is basically a kilo of 50%. We've mixed half a bag of So Simple BMGX, which is a rich fish meal sweet ground bait, with half a bag of just a plain crushed expander. Mix that up like you normally would be ground bait, put it through the riddle, lovely and fluffy. Into that we've used our brilliant little bait chopper from Garbolino. Great bit of kit that is for chopping anything from like maggots, casters, worms, corn, chop whatever you want in there. And we've just put a big handful of worm in there, chopped it up really fine so it's like a mush. Mix that into the ground bait and put a handful of our casters, handful of our maggots, mixed all that together, and then just flooded it with water until you get sort of a wet compo consistency. So if you flick it around your hand, it doesn't stick to your hand and you get that perfect little blob. So we'll put a sort of 100ml pot of that in at the start, and then we've got worm, caster and maggot from the hook. And then after every fish, through the toss pot, big blob of that in on top of your feed after every fish, and you will catch everything that swims. So for a short little mini session like we got today, absolutely brilliant swims. Right, I'm going to kick off. Start on maggot just to begin with. No doubt we'll be into a small fish straight away. I'll put a double maggot on. As I said, we are limited on time, so it's going to be a short session. We'll leave the cameras running for the whole 2 hours. Hopefully get you some bites. To our first fish. Didn't take too long. Lovely little skimmer. Actually took that on the drop as well. That's why I love this Lake Island pool at Moorlands. So many bites to be had on here. Lovely little Moorland skimmer. Good start. So it is simply just a case repeating the process. Double maggot, probably will swap to a worm, half a worm. octopot, it is quite messy. A bit of slop in your hand. Have your towel to hand when you're fishing with a slop. Simply fill your large octopot up. Line it up with your mark. Great thing in them octopots is dumps the bait out straight away. Like vented and holes in the side of the octopots, so it acts like a vacuum. There we go. Straight away into our second fish. Lovely jet black little stocky carp. Absolutely fin perfect. These are the ones that went in last winter. Absolutely beautiful fish. Put them in your silvers. Them little stockies, or anything £2 and less, goes in your silver net if you are on a match at Moorlands. The skimmer that thinks he's a salmon. In fact, it's not, it's a bream. Just bite a chuck. Just incredible fishing. And that is why I love fishing the worm slop. Because you can catch everything that swims. If you are at down here at Moorlands, you can use the ground bait in the winter. But if you was to come down here and fish, obviously in the summer you wouldn't be able to use it, so you wouldn't be able to use the slop. But you could fish worm and castor, you could fish castor, you could fish maggot, any of your natural baits. And just have a brilliant day's fishing. Like if you could have a good hour of your match, good 90 minutes of your match catching them skimmers. We've got our first carp on, our first F1. Yeah, if you could have a good hour, 90 minutes catching them skimmers while you're waiting for them carp to turn up on your match, just tops your nets up. Keeps you busy, keeps you happy because you're getting bites. But you've seen, it's took her probably 15 minutes for them fish to settle over that bait. But now they're here, getting a bite of chuck. I think this one may be foul looked. Foul looked, or he's very angry. big old F1 right in the bottom. That is one of the original big F1s residing here. Foul looked, but we don't care. Drop him in the net. That's one of the reasons I'm a bit cautious of loose feeding, as we don't really want them to come off the bottom. And even we just toss potting that slop in, even though it's quite a heavy slop mixer, it does sink quite quick. Even that's dragging them off the bottom. Skimmer then. The downside to the slightly heavier elastic, you do bump the odd skimmer, but with how active these Carpon F1s are at the minute, with how warm it is, it's pointless coming down here with like a 4 to 6 hollow, because you're just going to get run ragged when you do hook. But straight away, straight back down into another fish. We haven't fed vast amounts. A little stocky carp, one of the new ones. But it is just bite a chuck. Just absolutely rammed full of fish. I mean, what was that, 5 seconds? Into another one. Little stocky F1. I think they've located the bait. Perfect little fin, perfect stocky them are. They went in last winter, and they probably went in half the size of that. So they've piled the bait on over the summer, piled the weight on over the summer even, which is good. Just what Grant wanted. For any of you that don't know, Grant was really unlucky, and there was a batch of the KHV going round, which is every owner's worst nightmare. And sadly Grant did end up catching it, but it was noticed fast, it was acted upon fast, contacted all the relevant agencies, closed off the lakes that were infected, followed all the procedures, caught it really early, and minimalised the fish loss. Survived, like rode the storm, rode the wave and survived the storm, which is brilliant, because no fishery owner wants it, but especially down here, Grant's put a lot of work, a lot of time, money. It's been invested into putting this place back on the map, remodelling the lakes, repegging them. It was such a shame when he got it. But he's rode that storm, it's come out the other end. Fish are now thriving, which is brilliant. And the fishing's back to its usual brilliant self. He has implemented the fishery nets now, which is also another massive investment for a fishery this size, to be doing sort of 3 or 4 nets a peg, when you're talking sort of, well, you got just on this lake alone, you've got 16 pegs, 20 on bank, 20 on moors, sort of got 40 on meadow, 34 on high meadow. When you're talking sort of 3 nets a peg, that's a lot of money to be spending on fishery keep nets and landing nets. But he's done it, he's invested it, and it definitely minimises his worry of the whole KHV. So fair play to him. But yeah, he survived all that. He's come out to the end fighting. The fish are thriving again. And as you can see from the amount of bites we're getting, basically 2 plus 2, 1 line in it. The fishing is just incredible. Another beautiful skimmer, big skimmer. I mean, when you're catching fish like that, one a bung, just doesn't get much better. I mean, in just alone, we're really time limited today. Got to get back home, so we've literally got 2 hours, and we've probably got over £10 of fish already. Varying sizes, small skimmers, big skimmers, small bream, little stockies, F1s, roach, perch. Such a varied mix of fish. Just incredible. Bite a chuck. Big perch. Always going to love the worm, them are. Big stripey. Right old mixed bag. Keep that slop going in through the toss pot. Large octopot after every fish. We're sort of feeding just up the slope and then fishing the base of it. Just beautiful skimmer slaying at the minute. One a bung. The big skimmer, I think. Just incredible, this fishing is. You can see why Grant's Silver League, the individual and the teams one, is so popular, because he does have some of the best silver fishing on offer, certainly in the area. Didn't feed then, and we've had a carp or an F1 take it on the drop. But this is also the benefit of the reverse tapered rig, or reverse tapered shotting on the rig. Creates that dead slow fall, and you get the odd bites on the drop like this one. Little torpedo common by the look of it. Oh no, there's a little F1. Now on a silvers match, you'd be crying. You definitely don't want these on a silvers match. But they are a nuisance on a silvers match. But today, we don't mind them. Obviously he's kicking off now, I want to hold him up. Little fin perfect F1. Beautiful fish. Not my favourite species, but it's a fish. And our first fish on the double caster, like a carp or an F1. Interesting. Ooh, lovely white ghost carp. Try and hold him up, because he's a stunning fish. Absolutely nailed them casters. Try and hold him up for the cameras. See if he'll behave, because he is an absolutely stunning looking fish. Oh, warrior. Of course, as soon as I've got the hook out of him, he's going absolutely crazy. That is an absolutely stunning ghost carp. Beautiful. So we'll stick the double caster on again, just to see. I was expecting a little skimmer or a blade. So you guys watching these videos definitely prefer the live matches. So what we've planned, I've got a mega busy winter campaign. I've got the teams of 5 silvers and the individual silvers, both down here at Moorlands. And with our friends down at Hayfisher Productions, they've hooked us up with some camera equipment and some, just to make life easier, self-filming, which means we've got the capacity now to film a match front to back without having to worry about the batteries running out. So as long as it's not absolutely tanking it down with rain, I'm going to cover many of these matches for you guys as I can, just so you get a rough idea of, because it is some serious competition. The level of angling is massive on Grant Silver League down here. Serious anglers come out to play, and you don't always get the best of draws. Sections generally are fair, so you'll be in a tough part of the lake, but you'll be in a fair section. So you can see how we approach it. Like, I think there's 65-70 on his individual league, so you can see how we'd approach a match like that on hopefully a good draw and some bad draws. These fish are starting to come shallow now. But yeah, that's the plan for the winter. We're going to film some of them matches. Hopefully the weather's kind. Don't mind the cold as long as it's dry. So we'll get some of them for you. And then might try and slot the odd carp open in between. Not really a fan of the winter carp fishing, but I will do it. That was foul looked. These fish are starting to come off the bottom now, which isn't ideal. We could have put anything in today. If you notice, we've stopped feeding now. We've cut back on the feeding massively, and we're getting a lot cleaner bites. We're not getting them liners, and everything's in the gob. So even with feeding everything through a toss pot, keeping it tight and compact, not huge amounts, but we was still sending them a bit loopy. They're coming off the bottom and false indications. And just by cutting out that feed, I think this will be the 4th drop in now with no feed, we've sort of calmed them down a bit, got them back down on the bottom. Much cleaner bites, much more positive, cleaner bites, all in the mouth. So you just sort of tweak your way, feel your way through either your session or your match. And then if you start getting I don't know, micro perch, or you stop getting bites, then put either another big pot in, or let the fish tell you when to feed, basically. Lovely little skimmer to finish up on. Beautiful Moorlands skimmer. Right. I hope you enjoyed that little, just a mini session. Someone asked to cover, as I said in the intro, someone's asked me to show how to fish the worm slop. So we've covered that. But it also a chance for us to blow away the cobwebs, get the pole gear back out, back on the commercials after the campaign at Patsel. Really enjoyed it. It's definitely done the job. It's got that itching back, like craving back to get back out here on the commercials, on the silvers. So yeah, I'm going to pack some of this gear away, and then we'll pull the nets out, have a little look at what we caught. Fair few skimmers in there, fair few silvers. We've also got that big F1, a little carp and a few other little bits and pieces in the other net. So yeah, we'll have a rundown of how it's gone, have a look at what we've caught. I'll see you in a little bit. Right, that's us, all wrapped up now, all packed up. I won't bother showing you the carp because I held them up for the camera. We had that big F1, we had that big ghosty, a couple couple of other little F1s. We'll put them straight back. But for a mini session, it has been absolutely incredible. Just under 2 hours fishing. And we have got probably £20 skimmers. Try and get this so you can see. We've got skimmers, stockies, small bream, roach, perch. Just an absolutely brilliant mini session down here at Woodlands. Now I hope you enjoyed that little short video. It was basically just to blow away the cobwebs and get back into the commercial scene ready for the winter. Did have that message asking about the worm slop, so we just fished that purely for 2 hours, alternating the hook baits. So yeah, if you haven't been down here, get down to Moorlands, bite a chuck. It's maggot, you just fish maggot if you wanted. We caught on maggot wormhead. Wormhead was probably the best, for the better stamp, and cutting out them little blades on the drop. But yeah, absolutely brilliant mini session. So if you did like that video, please like and subscribe, and if there is anything else you want to see us film, just drop us a comment in the section below or message us directly, and we'll do our best to get out there and film it for you. See you on the next one.